Today at Drum Center of Portsmouth, the 10 best metal snare drums under $1,000. 2 bronze, 2 steel, 3 brass, 2 copper, 2 aluminum. Stay tuned, it's gonna be a banger.
Isn't that 11 snare drums?
No, it's How's it going, everyone? I'm Adam.
And I'm Tony.
And we work at the Drum Center of Portsmouth, the largest independently owned drum store in the world. All the drums and cymbals that you see in today's video will be available for purchase. I'll put those links in the description below. Today we are showcasing our 11 favorite metal snare drums under $1,000. And Tony, how did we go about choosing these 11 snare drums?
Well, it was a lot more difficult than I was expecting. This is really a unbelievably stacked category for snare drums, in my opinion. Just so many great options from each brand, but I really wanted to make sure that we had a good spread of materials, sizes, and price points as well. Yeah, and I think we have a pretty good list here. So let's jump right into it. We're gonna start with this guy right here. This is the Ludwig Supraphonic Raw Bronze 14 by 6.5. And it is currently priced at $799. It's got a 1.2 millimeter seamless bronze shell with a unique finish, and no two are alike. This particular one has 10 imperial style lugs. It's got regular old 2.3 triple flange hoops and the P88 AC throw off. My favorite.
There are literally half a dozen Ludwig snare drums that would have done well at this price point. Why did we choose this one?
Well, we had to pick one, I guess, is really the thing. There's acrylites, there's every version of the Supraphonic. Black Beauties, I think technically now come in over $1,000, so it's a little bit, outside of the price range that we're doing here. But honestly, it's like, they're all so good. It's like we just had to choose one that spoke to us, and I'm feeling the raw finish on this one. Bronze shell, which is, again, a little bit more kind of unique than aluminum or steel in that kind of way. So wanted to try that, and I mean, it did not disappoint. Yeah, and if you wanted to get a Black Beauty under $1,000, you can still do that because we sell B-stock Black Beauties, and those will fit the price point still. Yep.
The Gretsch USA Steel 14 by 6.5. This drum comes in currently at $875. This is one of our longtime favorites. It has a 3 millimeter reinforced solid steel shell with 45-degree edges. It's finished in a deep black chrome with 10 classic lugs. It has the lightning throw-off, die-cast hoops, and 42 strand wires. This thing is a beast, and it sounds great. We've done a few videos on this drum, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite kind of just like all around powerful sounding snare drums. It definitely does that, not bell brass, but it does that kind of thing when you're looking for the kind of rock and roll, aggressive, big sounding drum.
Yeah, and the 42 strand wires give it a little bit of extra kind of sensitivity. All around great drum.
Yep.
Canopus Black Nickel Over Brass II, 14 by 6.5. This drum just barely snuck in under the $1,000 price point at $999.02.
I got a thing with two.
It's got a 1.5 millimeter thick brass shell that is seamed. It's got 10 die cast lugs. It's got the bolt-tight leather washers, which I appreciate for extra tunability. And it also comes with a baseball bat type 3-position inner muffler. I really like this drum. Canopus makes unbelievably good snare drums, and it's nice to have a Black Beauty type snare drum in this showcase.
Yeah, it has the Canopus thing, which is that, especially in like the lower to medium velocities, it has so much character. You kind of start laying into it a bit. The thinner shell, it definitely doesn't have like the power of like the Gretsch solid steel or something like that. It pays off when you're playing more delicate, more nuanced things. It really sounds, amazing in that.
Yeah, and you can tell obviously like they are trying to reverse engineer the Black Beauty with this drum, but it has some artisan appointments with their bolt-tight washers. The internal muffler is great to have for flexibility, and it has some really good snare wires as well. The Trick Precious Metals Scorched Copper 14 by 6.5 snare drum. This will run you about $900. It has a thick 3mm copper shell that is welded. It's got 20 single point lugs. It's got the Trick GS 007 throw off and 2.3mm hoops. This drum was a bit of a wild card. We don't normally include Trick in these type of showcases, but we had a few laying around, and this finish kind of intrigued us.
Yeah, this was kind of unexpected for me as well. And we haven't carried a ton of Trick drums for a little while now, but we started kind of dipping our toes back into that. We have a few aluminums, and this copper really jumped out to me. I mean, aesthetically, really cool, but also just different. 3mm thick copper shell is not something you run into, as often. So thought it'd be cool to see how it kind of compared, and I really enjoyed it. The snare wires were not my personal cup of tea, like just the way that those sounded, but when you started laying into it and playing backbeats, it sounded great and really powerful.
Yeah, and I think this is the only snare drum with an Aquarian drum head stock on it.
Yes.
So should be a little bit different sounding. Next up, the DW Performance Polished Copper 14 by 6.5. This is the most affordable entry in our showcase today at only $579. It also has the thinnest shell, which is only 1mm thick. It's got 10 performance lugs, which are the quarter-sized lugs, which I prefer to the collector's lugs. It has the DW mag throw-off and 3-position butt plate. and 2.3 millimeter triple flanged hoops, and of course, true pitch tension rods, which are great if you want carpal tunnel. Strum sounded great. What did you think?
I really like the amount of body that it has. This also has a controlled sound type head, which will aid in that, having a bit more of a punch to the low end. I really like the combination of the thin copper shell with these hoops. There's something about the way that these hoops kind of feel and kind of add to the transient attack of a snare drum. So, kind of quintessential DW dryness on the snare wires. But again, that could be your thing, and this drum I thought really sounded great.
And a great value. Yamaha Recording Custom Stainless Steel 14x7. It is a good deal at $700. It has a thin 1.2 millimeter steel shell, 10 lugs, 2.3 millimeter dyno hoops. It has 25 strand snare wires, and I have here in my notes, throw off good.
Indeed it is.
Yeah. So what'd you think?
Well, I've actually always liked this the most out of the Recording Custom snare drums. It has a very open, lively, powerful type sound. I actually think this would pair up really nice with die-cast hoops as well if you want a bit more kind of, bite and poke on the attack. Tons of low end, lots of character and personality. The sensitivity is also great on this. I know this is the drum that Matt Cameron tends to play a lot. So it's kind of like, Black Hole Sun, but done by Yamaha. It's a great drum. I always love these, and I still do. So.
Me too. Next up, the Tama Tempesta Signature 14x7 brass snare drum. This sneaks in the $1,000 price point at $989. It has a 2 millimeter thick brass shell. It's got all black nickel hardware with die-cast hoops, 20 lugs. It's got a dual adjustment strainer, 42 strand wires, and it comes stock with a Remo coated ambassador. This is one of our longtime favorite Tama drums. We sell a ton of these and they sound absolutely amazing.
They really do. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more that needs to be said about it. It's kind of one of those if you know, you know drums. A lot of drummers who are kind of searching for that Tama bell brass type sound, but want something kind of at a slightly lower price point and also a little bit more kind of easygoing and, more modern sounding. They go for this drum, and for a good reason. I think it's one of the absolute best heavy shell snare drums that's currently on the market. And, it just rips.
Now we're on to the Pearl
Sensitone.
Phosphor Bronze 14x5. The Sensitone shell is 1.2 millimeters thick. It has 10 CL bridge lugs, which has minimal contact with the shell. Comes equipped with Pearl Super Hoop 2s, which are 2.3 millimeter hoops, and a Gladstone style throw-off. Sensitone is always a great choice in a showcase such as this. $719, can't go wrong.
No, I mean, these have always been, in any variation, kind of like the alternative to like the Ludwig thing, for Supraphonic. And sometimes like they kind of surprise me and I actually prefer them over the Ludwigs. And this particular shell, being a phosphor bronze shell, is really cool because it has kind of a bit more kind of warmth and character and mid-range as well. I really enjoyed this drum. I thought it sounded much kind of bigger and fatter than a lot of fives that I've played. Also feels really good to play, and I think that's really important to mention is, all of these drums have their own feel. Certain drums feel amazing, certain drums kind of don't give you as much back as you're putting into them. This is one that kind of gives you back more than you're putting into it, so it felt great to play.
Now we've got this little guy, the Noble & Cooley Alloy Classic 14x4 3/4 snare drum. This one is handsomely painted in a flat emerald green with black hardware. It has a 3mm cast aluminum shell. It's got 10 low-mass brass lugs. It has the classic Noble & Cooley brass throw-off and cam action snare wires. And it's got 2.3mm triple flanged hoops. The Alloy Classic is a great sounding aluminum snare drum, and it's a little more porous than the other metals that we're showcasing, which gives it a little bit more of a woody sound.
Yeah, it's definitely on the drier side. Because of that, these are super popular for recording. They have a very kind of tight but powerful burst of low-end energy that really translates well with the microphone. And also the triple flanged hoops kind of lend to a bit more open kind of upper harmonics. So I think this is actually a really well-balanced drum, something that if you're doing a lot of recording or mic'd up, it does really well under the microphone.
Yeah, and I love the feel of these shallower snare drums too. Yeah. A lot of fun to play. Now we're on to the 14x8 aluminum compressor. And Tony, who makes it?
I've always said Sonor. Some people say Sonor. Potato, potato. Here it is.
This drum is a great value at $769. It's got a fairly thick...
Sorry, I couldn't. I tried so hard not to let that laugh.
It has a fairly thick 2mm seamed aluminum shell. It's got 20 split lug design with the tune safe feature in these lugs, and Sonor's triple flanged power hoops. Tony, what do you think of this drum?
What I like about it is it's an 8x14, so it's got the low end and the power. But when you tune it up into like the medium range, where we have everything for this video, it's got a lot of character and personality, and you know, it really handles that tuning well, and it kind of has this like larger than life kind of almost arena rock sound. But it's still sensitive enough that you can play, you know, more delicate stuff, and it actually translates well. So
yeah, and you're getting the slight bit of control from the dry aluminum. It really does have everything. Great drum. And finally, we have the 14x8 Head bell brass snare drum. Surprisingly, the snare drum comes in at $935, which for a bell brass snare drum, let alone a 14x8, is really a great value. This drum is kind of a hodgepodge of different components. It has the Trick GS007 throw-off. It comes equipped with S-hoops. It has Fat Cat dual adjustable snappy snare wires. And it even has tight screw tension rods, which are helpful for keeping your bell brass snare in tune. And it's made right here in the good old US of A. This is a great drum, right, Tony?
it really is. It's funny because the whole time we've been kind of working on this video, I kept mentioning how the snare wires are not my thing. I just think they're kind of bright and kind of maybe too biting. However, that's when I was playing it and I was hearing it acoustically. Then when I listened to the recording and when I was working on the mix for that, I really liked it. And I think it actually balances out really well with this kind of deeper, 14x8 shell, the heavy, bell brass material. It just kind of all works together in a really nice way. And it just sounds so huge and explosive, but because those wires are bright, it kind of holds up. So you hear all the ghost notes even when you're playing hard, and it's just, I was really impressed with this drum.
Yeah, and because it's made by a Head, it would probably fly under a lot of people's radar. Mm-hmm. But again, it's the shell is great, and all the components really make it greater than the sum of its parts. And for less than $1,000, I mean, it's almost a no-brainer if you're looking for bell brass. So there you have it, 11 of the best metal snare drums, to us, under $1,000. So I figured what we could do is, I don't know what your favorite is yet, we haven't talked about this. I figure I'll go 1, 2, 3, and then on 3, we could say which one was our favorite.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Black Nickel
solid
Brass
steel.
2. You like the steel, huh?
I did.
Why?
Well, for me, it just kind of does all of the things that my ears are currently wanting to hear. Now, when I say currently, that's because right now, in 2025, in November, when we're making this video, that's the sound that I personally like to hear. It's powerful, thicker shell, big, rock and roll snare drum. Next month, it might be the Ludwig. I don't know. But right now, that's my choice.
Yeah, and I like the Canopus. I went in kind of wanting to like it, just from the appointments, and it's a black beauty. But when I heard it on the recording, as I was editing this video, it really sounded great. I love the flexibility of the internal muffler, but really all of these snare drums, there's not a dog in the bunch, we were saying.
No.
Normally there might be 1 or 2 that when we finally get them up here and play them, we're like, kind of let down, but not today.
No, every single one of these has their own thing. They felt great, they sounded good, and they all had their own voice.
But none of what we think matters. We want to know what you think. Let us know in the comments below which one was your favorite, which one you liked the least, and if you like these type of videos, why not subscribe to our channel? It's a great way to stay informed on all things drums, and an easy way to support our independently owned drum shop. So from all of us here at Drum Center of Portsmouth, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. We've got a few bangers lined up coming soon, so stay tuned. Do you want to say goodbye?
Not really.